11, local first.
A hit-and-run driver was found guilty for causing a crash that involved a school bus and seriously injured 2 students. Plus, police are searching for a Manheim Township man who disappeared Tuesday morning. But first, the cleanup begins after yesterday's wicked storms across Lancaster County. Good evening, I'm Shannon Murphy. An expecting mom escaped injury in a matter of seconds thanks to her 2-year-old son. Last night's storm made an oak tree crash through her house. Holly Harrah was at the home on Maple Street in Ephrata and has more on why the homeowner says it's a miracle she and her son made it out unharmed.
As restoration crews work to remove this oak tree from her office, Elizabeth Hall is counting her blessings.
God's timing was so perfect because he woke up my son at just the right time.
Just moments after the winds picked up in last night's storm, her 2-year-old son woke from his nap, causing Elizabeth to stop working in her front office.
Had he not woken up, I would have still been working in my office and could have died.
The two went to the front door to watch the storm when Elizabeth noticed the tree slowly falling out of the corner of her eye.
Just that quickly, out of the glimpse of my eye, I could see our front tree leaning towards the house, and my gut instinct was to run to the opposite side of the house.
The oak tree, nestled just 2 feet from the house, toppled into the front office space, cracking the foundation down to the basement. Elizabeth and her son got away just in time.
He was like, "Mommy, why are you screaming for Jesus?" I said, "For his protection, honey."
The family of 3, soon to be 4, had just celebrated 10 years in their Maple Street home, never questioning the possibility of the oak tree falling down.
We had it maintained over the years. We would keep up with any dead limbs that would break off. We would have them check the integrity of the tree, and they said, "Hey, it's a great, healthy tree."
Feeling lucky to be alive, Elizabeth calls this instance an example of divine intervention.
God was with us every step of the way. Like he was just with us the whole way to protect us.
The Hall family will be staying in a nearby hotel for the next 2 to 3 months as restoration is complete. Reporting in Ephrata, Holly Harrah, News 11.
Yesterday's storm caused numerous calls for downed wires, trees blocking the road, and house damage. But all things considered, staff at Lancaster County Emergency Management say yesterday's wild weather didn't cause as many problems as past summer storms. But it's still of great importance to prepare for the worst.
If the power goes out and you have nothing to eat, or you didn't stock up on medications that you need, that's when things develop into an emergency. And so your ability to take care of yourself and be prepared to take care of yourself is paramount.
If you do have large trees around your house, it's a good idea to get them assessed to make sure your property stays as safe as possible.
And in some cases that requires, hiring a professional like an arborist to come in and give you an assessment. If you have a tree that's old and dying and on your property, or it's had a lot of branches that fell off last storm, taking care of it now rather than waiting until the rest of it falls down, certainly worth your time, and your insurance company will probably appreciate it too.
There were no incidents yesterday where Lancaster County Emergency Management had to get directly involved. The wild storms may have moved out, but the rain has stuck around. Carl Kern has more in our first look at the forecast.
First Look Weather is brought to you by The Wagon at Weaver Markets. Check out weavermarkets.com for this week's menu.
Hard to believe, Shannon. Such little turnaround time from strong storms that pushed through late yesterday afternoon to just steady, soaking rain today, with temperatures staying pretty much where they ended up last night. Very little movement in temperature today, not much expected. We actually expect to see a little more of a temperature increase tomorrow, but overall, for the next 3 or 4 days, don't expect to see much sunshine. And while there is still more rain to come overnight tonight, we're just getting started on what could be several very showery days coming up through the weekend. I'll try to find a glimmer of hope in this forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Shannon.
All right, thanks, Carl. A Manheim Township man is considered an endangered missing person after he was last seen Tuesday. According to authorities, 57-year-old Jeffrey Bickett Lyons left his home on Old Orchard Road in his white 2015 Dodge Ram pickup truck 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. 14 minutes later, Lyons shut off his cell phone, which was last connected to a tower on Oregon Pike. Lyons failed to show up for multiple business appointments during the day and has not been able to be reached by family family or coworkers. A Lancaster man is convicted of causing a multi-vehicle crash, which included a school bus in East Lampeter Township 1 year ago. 47-year-old James Irvin III pleaded guilty to 68 counts, including aggravated assault and hit and run. Irvin is charged for making an illegal pass on Lincoln Highway East and striking another car that caused the crash. A reconstruction of the scene showed Irvin was traveling at 70 miles per hour before impact. The school bus carrying Lancaster Mennonite students tipped, seriously injuring two. Irvin's bail is set at $300,000, and the judge will order his sentence in about 3 months. An Ephrata man is charged after police say he inappropriately touched a 15-year-old girl. Police say the victim was in an uncrowded parking lot on State Street back on May 4th with friends and the friend's mother, when 83-year-old Henry Martin of Reinhold's put his hand across the victim's backside. The victim does not know Martin, but witnesses identified him on the scene to police, who reported him immediately. Martin is charged with harassment and disorderly conduct. And now turning to our primary election coverage. One of the biggest races in our area was for the 11th Congressional District. Congressman Lloyd Smucker, for the second time in 2 years, beat out businessman Chet Byler. The final numbers look like this: Smucker with 59% of the votes and Byler with 41. Smucker will face Jess King in November, who ran unopposed on the Democratic ticket in the primaries. Senator Ryan Almond ran unopposed on the Republican side for the 36th district, receiving over 22,000 votes. He will face Bill Troutman in November. Troutman collected just over 7,500 votes. Now, the 36th district includes the majority of our coverage area. Representative Stephen Menser also ran unopposed in the primaries. He will face off against Democrat Dana Hamp-Gulek in the fall for the seat for the 97th district, which includes Lidditz in our coverage area. And incumbent Republican Representative Mindy Fee will go up against Democrat Suzanne Delahunt in November for the 37th district, which includes Denver, Reinholds, and out to the Mannheim area. And last but not least, Republican David Zimmerman will run unopposed in the 99th district come the general election. His district includes New Holland, Terry Hill, and Ephrata. Well, there's still plenty of local news coming your way on the Early Report.
The Northern Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce gave us a first look at their new location. I'm Brendan Leslie, and I'll also tell you why this symbolizes growth in our area.
Plus, a heartwarming video of newborn twins, which proves a unique bond does exist. And later in sports, one of our local teams is headed to the LL baseball title game. Brian Cass will tell us who it is. The Northern Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce is finally all settled in their new location. As our Brendan Leslie reports, the upgraded office symbolizes the continued growth in our area.
It's been several months since the Northern Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce moved out of the Whistle Stop Plaza in downtown Ephrata. After tons of hard work, they've decided to give News 11 an exclusive tour.
We did some renovations, put on some new paint, and we're really excited about this new opportunity that allows us to be able to continue our mission to serve all of Northern Lancaster County and be able to be in an office that reflects what we're trying to do.
Their third floor office features more space than their old location, but according to events director Liz Ackerman, the best feature is their new conference room with the bubble.
Have the ability to have a great meeting space for our members, but also tie in the area that we cover. You know, it really kind of comes home when you're able to be up here and you see all of the different commerce and all of the different opportunities that are here in Ephrata that replicate themselves throughout the region.
Liz says Northern Lancaster County is seeing economic growth at a rapid pace. It was the perfect time for them to upgrade everything about them, including their branding and location.
It's really embracing our area of coverage, and we've had a lot of great forward momentum, both with the rebranding and the move. Our members are feeling re-engaged. We have new members coming on every month.
Reporting in Ephrata, Brendan Leslie, News 11.
The Chamber also hopes to hire a new executive director by the end of the year. New Holland Fellowship Church broke ground on a new children's wing last November and are in the final stages of construction. The 13,000 square foot building will give a secure area for the 100+ children, ranging from infants all the way up to 6th grade, that attend Sunday services, as well as extra lobby space. The addition totals $2 million, but the church has already raised $800,000 as a congregation.
Right now we have a lot of classrooms that are doing double duty. They're for children, but they're also for adults. And some of the spaces that we're using are also maybe too small, don't give the kids enough room to do what we want to do with them during our lessons. So this will give all kids uniform areas that they're all getting enough space to do what teachers want to do with the kids.
Christian Fellowship Church is still accepting donations for the building fund, as well as goods, services, and time. Don't forget to register to win in our latest contest. The first is for the Mannheim Rock and Glow Run. One winner will receive 2 race entries and a commemorative Glow t-shirt. The Mannheim Rock and Glow 5K is on Saturday, June 2nd at 9 o'clock. To register to win, log on to our website, brctv11.com, and click on the banner. The winner will be announced on Monday. And if you're not into running, we have another contest that will help welcome summer. We've partnered with Dairy Queen to give away a 8-inch Dairy Queen ice cream cake. A coupon will be provided to the winner to pick up dessert just in time for Memorial Day weekend. Again, to register, log on to our website and look for the DQ banner. Only 1 entry per email address. The winner will be announced next Monday. Good luck. Well, Carl Kern is up next with a check on your extended forecast, plus this.
The only person who knows why a snapping turtle crossed the road is animal expert Jesse Rothacker. Will tell you what you should and shouldn't do if you encounter wildlife on the street.
News 11 weather, local first.
That is just pure frustration falling from the sky, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing more, nothing less. After the long winter that we had and really trying to just get a little bit of traction into this spring season, and suddenly we find ourselves much warmer than we'd like. Strong thunderstorms pushing through the region less than 24 hours ago, followed by just a day-long soaking rain. It is frustrating. This is one of the more difficult spring seasons I can remember in a very, very long time. But there's very little hope for sun. There's certainly no sunshine coming today. There's more rain coming overnight tonight. We are talking about very saturated ground right now. Travel, of course, much more difficult. There's still debris issues from storms that push through parts of the region, dealing with cleanup, and yet. While there's cooler, drier air pushing down from the north, and that is ultimately what set off those tremendous storms in Pennsylvania yesterday. Now the warm air is already trying to retake the ground here, the warm, humid air, and thus we have a very tropical type of weather pattern in place. It's just not going to change much between now and tomorrow, I'm afraid. Once again, we're looking at a day that looks very similar to what we had today. Periods of rain, some of that rain heavier at times, maybe not raining the entire day, but very little hope for any clearing skies and temperatures that can't even eclipse the 70-degree mark. So it is kind of tough to look at and know that it's set to continue for a few days here. Cloudy, 65, dew point of 64. Temperature has nowhere to go, at least in the downward range. An east-northeast wind, that'll certainly account for that high humidity, the cloud cover, the periods of rain are pushing in from the south. That's part of tropical moisture that's affecting most of the southern eastern United States. In fact, there is the day that was expected, and it's pretty much turned out that way, except that moisture is extended all the way on up into northeastern Pennsylvania and is expected to continue perhaps through the day tomorrow. And yes, there are places where there's ponding of water on the roadways. And of course, we're already seeing temperatures return to the mid and even upper 80s. Fargo, Minneapolis. Remember when they were kind of stuck in the teens and 20s and 30s for what just seemed like the entire winter. And now here they've already now broken out into full-fledged summer here, while we're stuck in the 60s and could be again for a day or two more, maybe even in the lower 60s into the weekend for a day. So this is certainly not a weather pattern that looks like it's set to change immediately. So just be prepared. There is no real sunshine expected for Thursday or Friday or even the weekend at this point. I'm holding out hope for sometime early next week. While we don't see rain immediately coming, it's part of this is geographic. The terrain of Pennsylvania helps to generate some of these downpours based on lift, very moist, low-level air, and cooler temperatures above. But wow, temperatures are going to stay steady tonight, tomorrow. There's going to be virtually no movement in temperature for the next 24 to 36 hours. Rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, this is something that with any luck, we're going to hold out hope that that Sunday stays exactly the way it is forecast, because we're really going to need a good sunny day around here, Shannon. We're going to have a lot of drying out to do. Just be aware, if you have any storm drains in your neighborhood, keep those clear, keep the gutters moving. It is certainly not a time to have gutters back up on you, but we'll keep our heads up, Shannon, and that sun will come out just in time for the end of the weekend.
All right, thank you, Carl. Well, why did the turtle cross the road? Good question. News 11's Taylor Tashev caught up with Jesse Rothacker of the Forgotten Friend Reptile Sanctuary about who is taking over the roadways this time of year.
A turtle almost triple the size of this one crossed the road just a few days ago, and animal expert Jesse Rothacker was able to get him to safety.
Are you ready to release him?
Yeah.
Crossing the road right in front of us, stopping traffic, was a big snapping turtle. So, of course, I put on my hazard lights, got out really quickly, and was able to pick up the snapping turtle and release him in the pond that's right behind us here.
Jesse knows how to handle wildlife, but what if the roadblock is bigger than the size of your hand?
If you see a little turtle like this painted turtle, it's safe to help them cross the road. But if you see a bigger turtle like a snapping turtle, they have a powerful defensive bite. So we teach our kids 3 words to do if you see a snake or a snapping turtle.
Step back, Jack.
That's right, just step back, Jack.
Take note from this animal expert to be and make sure it's safe to approach all wildlife before lending a hand.
If it's safe to do so, you can slow down and stop, run your hazard lights, and just be patient as those animals are trying to survive and live right alongside us.
Wildlife tend to travel after rainy days, so make sure to keep your eyes out on the road.
Oftentimes wildlife are moving right after rain events, so they may have been hunkered down, they may have been cold as it rained for an entire day. So the following day they're warming up and they're making up for lost time. They're looking for food to eat, they're on the move.
And if they're on the move, there's a good chance you will come in contact with wildlife right in your backyard.
We get a lot of calls for snapping turtles that are in areas that are very close to homes, very close to businesses. So that's a generalist species that you could expect to find almost anywhere living right under our noses.
If you don't feel comfortable approaching an animal, give it time to get from one place to the next, and remember to share the road. Reporting in Mannheim, Taylor Tashev, News 11.
Well, Jesse also says to keep an eye out for snakes, ducks, and geese this time of year. Brian's Hero Sports. You get all that, Brian? Be careful on those roads.
I love Jesse.
I know.
Jesse's my guy.
He is a great guy. Well, you are talking League Baseball.
We are, Shannon, guaranteed a team in the league final because Ephrata and Warwick playing each other in the semifinals. Those highlights coming up. Plus, it is title night in boys volleyball. Can Mannheim Central do what they could not do last year, win the LL Championship? We break it all down next in sports, so stick around. Despite the tornado warnings on Tuesday night, LL baseball semifinals underway. Did have to delay the game between Warwick and Ephrata for 2 hours or so, but they did squeeze it in. We now know who will be playing for the LL title. Ephrata lost to Warwick back on April 18th, but won the next 12 games. Could make it lucky 13 with a payback win in this one. We pick it up in the 4th inning, tied at 2. This pitch gets away from Warwick's Dagan Young. Runner on 3rd for Ephrata, going to scoot home. Mounts take the lead 3-2. Top of the 5th now. Warriors responding right away. Young making up for his mistake. The clutch RBI fielder's choice. We are all tied at 3 and going to extra innings. Bases juiced in the bottom of the 8th. Nate Young up for Ephrata. Infield is up, and he slaps it right over their heads. Andrew Thomas scores the winning run. Mounts with a huge celebration. 13 straight wins and a date on Thursday in the LL title game. So it all sets up the championship game between Ephrata and Lampeter Strasburg. It's an all Section 2 affair, and the last time these two teams met, Ephrata's Nate Young threw 6 innings of no-hit baseball with 16 strikeouts. He could be available to pitch. LS's ace, Chris Perazzi, will not be available because he pitched in last night's semi that lasted well past midnight. The Mounts were last LL champions back in 2015. LS's last title back in 1994. Talking more playoffs though, District 3 lacrosse, Cocalico ladies entering the bracket as the 8th seed, hosting an opening round matchup with 9 seed Conestoga Christian. Remember, this is the AA bracket, so powerhouse teams like Hempfield and Manheim Township nowhere to be seen. Eagles open up the scoring off a restart. Sydney Costanza over to Claire Eberly. Gets Coach Calico on the board, 1-0. Then it's Eberly's turn to find some teammates. The dish to Hannah Custer, scoring from close range. And moments later, more ball movement. Check out Katie Heck here, the spinneroonie, good for a 3-goal lead. And the Lady Eagles pour it on, shutting out Conestoga Christian 7-0. They will now advance to face the top seed in the bracket, Susquehannock. That game scheduled for Thursday at a site and time to be determined. Finally, though, it's a huge night on the volleyball court. The LL League boys title game showcasing two heavyweights, Section 1 champion Hempfield versus Section 2 champion Manheim Central. It is a battle of the unbeatens. Neither team has even lost a set in league play all season long. Hempfield trying to win the league title for an amazing 22nd time. Manheim Central in the league final for the second year in a row, looking to redeem a runner-up finish in 2017. Should be an amazing match tonight at 7:30 at Manheim Township High School. Tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. to see who raised the trophy. But for now, that will do it for sports. We'll be right back.
A pair of twins born in Florida are bringing a smile to a lot of people's faces after this video was released. Proud dad Dane Lehman captured the footage of his beautiful interaction between his newborn baby sons, Weston and Caleb. The babies began to cry, but when they were separated moments after entering the world. Incredibly, they immediately calmed down when they were repositioned close together. Now, Dane showed the footage to his wife, Lisa, who wasn't able to see it happening. She said she was emotional and grateful for the moment being captured. Both parents say they still tear up when they watch it. I have to say, after my boys were born, we put them together a lot, and you could just sense the comfort.
Twin magic.
It's amazing. That's it for us. I'm Shannon Murphy.